So as you can see by this picture, I am doing yet another video on this problematic hack, this haggard ass woman by the name of Charlize Theron. And we all can see her, but you see another individual in the picture. That is her son. I refuse to call this child that she has abducted, as far as I'm concerned, her daughter. But this is what she prefers to have her child look like, because apparently, allegedly, at the age of 3, which I don't believe, her son told her that he believed he was a girl, or that he wasn't a boy. So this is one of the recent pictures right here. It was another picture I was going to put up here, but I said I would refuse to put that up on the screen. But I'll describe the picture to you. It's a picture of her son with the braids like he has in this picture, but he's not wearing a school jumper. He's wearing a one-piece pink bathing suit. Yes, you heard that correctly. This woman, I do not know how in the hell DHS, I'm sorry, not DHS, but Child Protective Services and DPS, I should say, is not investigating her and her parenting. But you know what? It doesn't surprise me, because this is what they prefer. They don't even see this as child abuse. They do not see this as child abuse. I just did a video about D Wade. Now I'm doing another video about Charlize Theron. It's like every time I do a video about this chick, it involves her son. They enjoy and get off on this. You know what? I'm going to just stop giving my piece. I'm going to read this article coming from Radar Online, which says Charlize Theron talks about raising transgender daughter Jackson. It's all pretty new. Charlize Theron has been a supporter of the LGBTQ rights since she can remember, and now she is working to bring freedom and fairness into her family while raising her quote-unquote transgender daughter, aka her XY chromosome carrying son. In an interview with the Pride source, the bombshell actress, age 44, admitted she was raised by a mom who was extremely open-minded about sexuality. Because of that, the actress was able to explore her options. Well, why couldn't she explore her options just on her own? Why would she indoctrinate that onto a child, especially a black boy? I experimented, and I did what I think every young person should do. Feel brave enough and free enough in order to figure it out. I had this person that I could share it with, that I felt safe with, who wasn't going to judge me or label me. But it turns out, that I am straight. It's a little bit of a bummer. So this woman just literally told us that she experimented with, trying out being a part of the L class of the Alphabet Academy and realized that it wasn't for her. But then she says she feels bummed that it didn't work for her. So it sounds to me like she was fighting with her sexuality and was more upset that she was more heterosexual than lesbian. Are y'all hearing me right now? That right there is a symptom that this woman is off her rocker and does not need to be around kids. This is the same woman that said that it's men's fault that nobody is approaching her and she can't get a date. Look at how her level of mindset is. And people want to say that, one, this is not an agenda, and two, that this is not a psychological dysfunction, or at least a disorder. The article goes on to read, the Oscar winner said that while her children are still a bit young, you think, to have full conversations about sexual preferences, they very much understand. Sorry, I had to step away right quick. I'm going to read that again. The Oscar winner said that while her children are still a bit young to have full conversations about sexual preferences, they very much understand gender and are already choosing their own paths. I wonder how they figured all of this out. I have a feeling it wasn't just by them. She indoctrinated it. She just told you before I read that paragraph where her level of thinking was from her mother. She got this from her mother. And then she transferred it on to her kids that she kidnapped. As far as I'm concerned, this woman kidnapped these kids. She said they're a little too young but we definitely have these conversations whenever they say I'm going to get married, and I'm always like, what is it going to be, a boy or a girl? What is it going to be? I love that my kids just know that that's a normal question to ask. Theron, one of my daughters, age 4-year-old August, now this is the one that's actually biologically a girl, is convinced that she's going to be married 5 times and is going to be 3 boys and 2 girls. Did you just hear that? She said that her daughter told her, this is the biological daughter, the biologically born daughter. She told her that she thinks she's going to be married 5 times and it's going to be 3 boys and 2 girls. So she's going to be married to 3 guys and 2 girls. With how she's raising them, I wouldn't be surprised if it was all at the same time. That is scary to think about. Mind you, the little girl is the biological sibling to the boy. So it's 2 black children in this household. So Charlize is raising not only her boy to grow up as a girl, but she's also now raising the biologically born girl to be a thought. And nobody is even questioning this behavior. She says, and I just love that she has the freedom to think that way. God knows what it's going to be, but I love that she feels safe enough to explore in her little girl brain that anything is possible and that she's going to go and discover for herself. This chick, like I said, is going to raise her daughter to be a thought, and she's going to raise her son to be confused as hell. But nobody is trying to find out how in the hell can we get those kids away from her. She is not fit as a parent. Charlize, if you can hear me right now, which you probably don't, and that's cool, that's okay. This is why you do not have a good relationship with men. You want to know why you can't get a man? Or probably even a good friend? It's because of this behavior right here. It's too much. It's a lot. That's why you cannot have a relationship. RadarOnline.com readers knows Theron found out son Jackson, age 7, was transgender when the little boy. Even throughout this article, I have to rearrange the words because they're referring to the son as a girl. It's gotten to that point. She's even gotten them to refer to the son who was biologically born a boy as a girl. The indoctrination is damn near complete. Okay, they said readers know Theron found out son Jackson, age 7, was transgender when the little boy told her, I am not a boy, at age 3. At age 3, that's the same age that Dwayne Wade said that he knew his son was a part of the G class in the Alphabet Academy. What is it with this age 3? What is so special about that number? When asked if having a transgender child influenced her decisions when it comes to taking on LGBTQ characters in films, Theron said, well, this is all pretty new for us, so it hasn't really kind of come into question. I don't really necessarily know if it will. Well, Charlize, you did play a part of the Alphabet Academy when you played that role in that movie Monster, in which you won your Oscar back in the day. My son's story. No, if I say son in the article, it says daughter. My son's story is really his story. And one day, if he chooses, he'll tell his story. I feel like as his mother, for me, it was important to let the world know that I would appreciate if they would use the right pronouns for him. Theron continues. So it's going into that whole gender. So basically, she does not want her son to be acknowledged as he or him or sir or Mr. She wants to have the son be recognized as she, her, ma'am, Ms., and if he gets married, Mrs. And I have a feeling they probably going to indoctrinate some kind of a law to put that on the books and say, if you don't acknowledge them by this, then we are going to fine you or we're going to throw you in jail. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. I think it became harder for us the older he got, that people were still writing about him in the wrong pronouns. And also, was still talking about him in the press using the wrong pronoun. It really hurt him, hurt his feelings. I don't want to be that mom. The actress says she doesn't speak much of her daughter's gender in public because what goes on in her children's lives speak much of her son's gender in public because what goes on in her children's lives and in her family is really private. You stupid skank. How you gonna sit there at 1 minute and talk and put out all this stuff about your son and him wanting to be another gender and you dressing him up in the part in public like we see with this picture here, which is not private. It's not private when you're doing something like this, and then say you don't want to talk about it that much because you want the stuff to be private. Like, which is it? I'm telling you, this chick is insane. She is crazy. She is psychotic. And it says it's his story and it's really up to him to decide if he wants to share that. Well, you're doing all the sharing for us, Charlize. And it was like 500 plus comments down in the comment section, and them people was going in on her. And the thing is, she doesn't care. This to the society we are living in right now, a collective are applauding this. I saw so many people under that Dwayne Wade video applauding this. I put it out as a tweet and I had to block a few people on my Twitter account because of that. They were coming in and say, you don't know his parenting skills. He was probably, the son was probably abused. They even went as far as to say that Dwayne Wade's son was being abused by his biological mother. They even went that far. They completely disregarded Dwayne Wade referring to his son as a she, or the role that Gabrielle Union plays in this, and then threw everything right onto the boy's biological mother and saying that she's the one that abused him, and basically saying she was the one that caused him to want to be and live this lifestyle and know that that's what he was at such a young age. But I can't remember if his mother ever took him around or in the environment like a pride parade like Gabrielle Union did. They don't even see that as abuse. That kind of environment is for adults. No matter how they choose to live their life, no child should be there. But she took them there, and Dwayne Wade okayed it and even referred to Gabby and his son as my girls. It was a picture he put up on his Instagram account where it was Gabrielle Union, his son, and the daughter that they had that Gabby wasn't really pregnant with, and referred to that picture as my girls. Y'all cannot tell me that there's not an agenda that is upon us right now, and we're the ones that are looked at like we're crazy when we point this out. Back to Charlize Theron. I did not know what was going on so much with the biologically born daughter, the daughter with the XX chromosome. They always focus more on the son. But now knowing how she's raising the daughter to be a thought, and not just any thought, but around the way girl. Like, I know I'm taking it back with that terminology. She said that, and this was her daughter, 4 years old. Her daughter is 4, saying, when I get married, I want it to be the 3 boys and 2 girls. Or was it 5 boys and 2? I forget. It was a pretty hefty number. So she wants to be married 5 times to both genders. And Charlize says she's okay with that. At 4, she does not care if her daughter becomes a thought. And I'm the one in the wrong for pointing this out. But they don't care. They do not care. This is what the society has turned into. This is what the society wants. They want these children, especially black children, to behave in this manner. And like I said, I think I've said this before, get them while they're young, groom them while they're young, because their minds are so impressionable. And it'll be easier to indoctrinate. But Charlize Theron, this is why you don't have a man. You probably will never, ever be in another meaningful relationship, because I don't know what sane man would want to deal with that. She has single-handedly destroyed her children. I'm sorry, the children that she abducted. Because like I said, I just refuse anybody just let her adopt those kids. I just have the biggest feeling that she kidnapped them. I'm just saying. But this chick is definitely off her rocker for real. And it's sad. It really is sad. Like, it's nothing funny about this whatsoever. And then people will get upset at you for pointing this out and saying, you can't judge them. They're not your kids. Let her raise her kids the way that she want. Because they've been indoctrinated and they're brainwashed. So it's like we are now falling into the minority when we call this crap out for what it is. And as being abnormal and straight up debauchery. We're in the wrong. I have nothing more left to say about this. Like, I can only imagine what y'all got to say, but I'm going to let y'all have it. I'll talk to you in the next one.